of the Realm. I'm Scotty Schemmel from Sports Realm, and today we are talking about the James Harden Blockbuster trade that just happened a few hours ago. We're making this video, back-to-back videos, but we got to get content out for you guys. So let's talk about the details of the trade. The Rockets are getting Victor Oladipo, Rodions Kurucs, Dante Exum, 4 unprotected first-round picks. So the picks are Brooklyn's 2022 pick, 2024, 2026, and then they get another pick from Milwaukee in 2022, and 4 unprotected first-round pick swaps, all with Brooklyn. And then the Nets are getting, obviously, James Harden. That's all they're getting, but it's still James Harden. And the Pacers are getting Caris LeVert and a 2023 second-round pick from Houston. And then the final team of the 4-team trade is the Cavaliers, and they get Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. So, Severin, let's start with the Rockets and break down the players they get, the picks, and what will you grade the trade for them?
Yeah, so I obviously know how special Harden is, but after the situation that was going on between him, DeMarcus Cousins, and John Wall, where he's saying he can't fix it, we knew it would be unlikely he'd be able to make it work just because of the offseason. But yeah, they did really well for themselves. I mean, there was rumors they could have gotten Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, and Matisse Thybulle, which would have been a haul. I don't know how true that is, but that would have been insane to get that kind of a haul. But you look at Victor Oladipo, a capable guard who can play alongside John Wall because he doesn't need the ball. And then we really get to see a chance to see these offensive weapons grow. And I really love Christian Wood, and he's going to be exciting. So you have to love what they got for James Harden, getting some pieces. And they have the safety net. If this team doesn't work out, that they just shifted and got rid of Harden, they have tons of draft picks in the future to really help them work with a lot coming forward. And then, Max, what would you say? How did the Rockets fare in this trade?
The Rockets said that they were determined before they sent out James Harden to get a haul, and they went and they did it.
They did.
Shout out to Houston for not getting fleeced. They got the mother load of picks as well as Victor Oladipo and some other quality players. Definitely Houston did as well as they could for having somebody like James Harden basically demanding that he leaves. So I'm proud of Houston for that.
Yeah, so my take on the trade is personally I was thinking it's going to be a sinking ship, and as soon as they can, they should have tried to get him out. But I see now it's a great idea for them to wait and try to get as much as they could, try to work out a trade between all these different teams. And they got it done. I mean, Victor Oladipo, very capable, very good guard, 20 points per game this year, 5.7 rebounds and 4.2 assists. So he's performing, and he's someone that I think could go in and work with John Wall, and they can get some stuff going. So I think it was good for them. And if I had to give that trade for them a rating, I'd say that's an A. What do you guys think about that? What would you rate the trade?
For sure. It's still early, but for sure.
Yes. Right now it's looking like an A.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Nets, and they got James Harden. So, Severin, take me into that.
Yeah, with Brooklyn, I mean, everybody's saying at the end of the year, start of the year, Lakers got it. But if Brooklyn, if they can get James Harden along with that squad, that's going to get us in trouble. And Brooklyn, they mortgage their future. I mean, we'll have to see at the trade fair as well, but they get a chip, it's worth it. And this team, with that kind of talent, it's going to be a lot. Steve Nash has a heck of a job to do with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, both coming from just going to be able to make that work. Kevin Durant, he's going to be solid. He's going to be fantastic. But, yeah, you got to love the potential of those 3 players. And then they gave up Caris LeVert, who was a bench player, Jarrett Allen, and then a ton of picks. So you hurt losing your depth. But for James Harden, it's definitely worth it to go all in. And this is kind of one of those crazy scenarios where, you want to see can 3 elite volume scorers work together. And then for all, the NBA, nerds out there, you get to see a real experiment in action. It's really exciting. Max, how do you think Brooklyn did?
Ooh, they went out and they built the 2K team. This team is going – if you just look at those 3 names, and it is absolutely terrifying a lineup. Nobody's going to want to play against them. Sure, they did give up a haul. They gave up their future. Hopefully we see that it doesn't end up like it did back whenever they got fleeced by Boston. But they managed to even keep Spencer Dinwiddie, even though he will be out for the rest of the season. Next season, if some like if things don't go all too well this season, they have some issues. Maybe it's the whole Kyrie situation. So we still don't know how that's gonna turn out, but it does look like they are set up, at least for the short term. They have really great potential.
Yeah, well, I think it's just I agree with what you said, Max. That getting Spencer Dinwiddie back next year is a bright spot. Hopefully, at the end of the year, they don't have to look at that and they can just be happy that they won a championship. Which who knows? We'll see at the end of this year. But my take on the Kyrie situation is that I think that he'll come back because I mean, obviously now he sees like this is a serious team. This is like a championship contender, no doubt. And I hopefully that gets to him and gets into his head, and he'll come back soon. And I think Steve Nash can take control. I mean, he's a legend, and they know that. So hopefully that they can all get that working. And I think it's a great situation for Brooklyn. And honestly, it's exciting for me because it's just more competition in the NBA. Yep. So let's move on to the Pacers now. And the Pacers got Caris LeVert. That's their main haul from this trade, who was a straight up trade but between the Rockets for Victor Oladipo. So the Pacers are getting Caris LeVert, a 2023 second round pick from Houston. So Severin, what's your take on this?
Yeah, Indiana, they're able to just, take advantage of the moment. Like they got a call saying they were able to figure out what was going on and just be able to hop in and make good out of it, because we heard those reports where Victor Oladipo was wild saying, "Hey, come straight from me." It might have been jokes or whatever, but like it obviously ruffled some feathers. The reports came out, and then Oladipo, he might not be in the Pacers' long-term future. I mean, there was rumors that he would get traded to Boston for nothing. That didn't happen because Oladipo is a great player, and he shouldn't be traded, just in a sign and trade throwaway like that. They were able to get a really nice young piece in Caris LeVert, who has playmaking potential. And then he's a great scorer, and he has a lot of potential to unlock still, because with his ability to play make and score and be a big guard basically. I mean, you gotta love to be able to get out of that Victor Oladipo as someone who might not have wanted to be there. So I mean, shout out to Pacers for being able to piggyback on the trade and make good out of it. Max, what would you say is looking like with the Caris LeVert situation?
I really like this trade for both teams. I think both teams got what they needed from it. The Rockets got Victor Oladipo, a guy who more than likely fits their timeline. He's going to come out, be exactly what they should have gotten out of this trade. And then for Caris LeVert and the Pacers, I think Caris LeVert is going to bloom in Indiana under a great coaching staff. He's going to be put into a role more of what I think he should be than what he was on Brooklyn, playing beside KD and Kyrie. So I feel like he's going to have a lot of opportunity. He's going to have a lot more opportunity in Indiana, and I think that's going to benefit him greatly.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a guy who's like 18.5 points per game, 4 rebounds and 6 assists. I mean, he's a guy that can handle the ball, and he's a big guard. He really is. So he can do a lot for the Indiana Pacers, and I think that was a great idea for them. It's a bright spot for their future, and like Severin said, piggybacking on this trade, especially when it was not like their main goal to immediately make a move, is great for them. So I think that's awesome. So let's move on to the fourth team and final team in this trade is the Cavaliers getting Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. Severin.
Yeah, with the Cavs, it's kind of the least exciting, least glamorous part of the trade. With they gave up a first round pick in Dante Exum, which Dante Exum has really struggled to find his place in the league. Hopefully, he lands somewhere. He just gets healthy and build a little to potential that he saw early on. Mm-hmm. But he struggled to produce much lately. So Cavs losing him doesn't really hurt them, especially in the immediate. But they get a guy, Jarrett Allen, who will likely replace Andre Drummond because he's younger and he fits the Colin Sexton, Darius Garland backcourt timeline well, and we'll see what they can create. And they just want to be able to have just a rim protector and rim runner. Not too much to say, but they got a really nice player in Jarrett Allen. Someone's going to be good for a long time.
Yeah.
Max, what would you say?
Yeah, I like the Jarrett Allen coming in, Andre Drummond's expiring contract, so they're going to have their shift. I do feel bad for Jarrett Allen going from playing with KD and Kyrie in Brooklyn He has to pack up, move to Cleveland, play. But I mean, I think that's gonna it's gonna be more opportunity for him as a player. He's having a career high season this year in some categories, so I think he'll fit in well with what the Cavs need, and hopefully they can keep continuing to build on the good moves that they've been making in the last few years.
Yes, for sure. So thank you guys for listening. So like and subscribe and listen to anywhere you get your podcast, where this will be, and on YouTube. Max?
Sports Room out.